Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good morning so far this morning. Glad you are here with me for the FOMO live stream here Thursday morning, May 9th. Excuse me. Still trying to get over whatever little cough I still have lingering from being sick last week, but I think I'm mostly through it. But forgive me if I'm still occasionally clearing my throat, whatever the case might be. What's up, Chris? What's up, Hideout? Good to see you guys both, or both you here. Chris, I know you're a guy. Hideout could be man or a woman. So anyway, not that that matters. So we are going to take a look at what's going on in the markets. Again, as we always do with futures, as we kind of try to get our bias set for the day. Also going to do some quick trade plan reviews. We've got the member selected tickers that we'll do updates on, and then we'll also touch on the Tuesday live stream tickers that we did plans for, and then we will of course jump into some new trade plans for this morning and to get ready for closing out this week and possibly even swinging something into next week. What's up, Strife? Good morning. Good to see you here. If you are in the mix here on the YouTube side of things, please chime in, say hello, say what's up in the chat. I am going to really quickly get things going over in the Discord as well. What's up to our friends on Discord? Again, reminder, come join us on YouTube. That is the future of the FOMO live stream. So make sure that you are making your way that way because it will pretty soon be the exclusive way of watching these live streams. What's up, Space Ninja? I like that. Prometheus, what's up, dude? Good to see you here. All right, so let's dig in. Let's start talking about some market related stuff after now that we've killed a couple minutes with our good mornings and greetings. So what are we looking at from a futures perspective? Well, we've been chomping around and kind of consolidating inside of the supply zone that we've been watching for a little bit. We've yet to really invalidate this supply zone. I know it looks like we have on this hourly chart. It's actually a 4-hour supply. And as you can see, every candle that's really tried to make a significant close above has been sold off. So that's been pretty interesting, but we do see a little bit of a push here this morning, trying to close this candle out in the next 90 minutes, potentially above that level, which would be, so essentially if we're at 10 o'clock, if ES is above 52.12, and honestly, I'd like to see it a little bit higher than that based on some of these prior rejections. I'd say really better confirmation would be a close above 52.20. If you see that around 10 o'clock on ES, I'd say it looks like we've invalidated that supply zone. That could potentially open up some more room to the upside. We are also on a confirmed uptrend here on the 4-hour chart, looking pretty solid there. Also looks fairly clean on the hourly as well, with a slight dip below. Neptune looking fully bullish. So really, we are in an area of struggle. This setup could certainly fail and break to the downside. I'd say if we lose this 51.90.25 bottom of the supply zone and this support resistance level that I have here on ES, we could see a further pullback. But overall, right now, I'd say I'd be leaning bullish and expecting a break over this 52.20 level. But again, until that breaks, kind of expect chop. I'd be looking for scalp trades only. Over 52.20 opens up room for the upside, I think. Look for things that are beat up or breaking out from consolidation to go long on. And then things that are, near all-time highs or have been moving up while the market's been consolidating. If you see the market start to break down, look for those to potentially be places where folks will start to take profits first. It would be, good potential near-term short opportunities. So with that being said, hopefully that gives you guys sort of some ideas of how to sort of, again, set your biases as you go into your various trades today, whether those be directly on the indexes or, tickers related to the indexes that follow the indexes. It's always kind of good to know how to play this stuff. Another thing, actually, I forgot to mention a moment ago, but I'll point out, we did see a really nice bounce. That's our pre-market low off yesterday's SPY plan call entry. So, I think that's also a fairly bullish look, at least for the time being. So, again, just kind of keep your heads on a swivel, though, because we are definitely in a range where things could stay choppy until ES breaks over or gets a 4-hour candle above that 52.20 level. Again, watch right around 10 o'clock today. It's possible that that might happen, but we're already seeing some selling pressure as we try to break above the supply zone. So supply demand, also another great skill to learn beyond support and resistance. Make sure that you guys are looking into that. And if you have any questions about how to dig into that stuff, feel free to reach out to me, shoot me a DM in our Discord. We can talk about putting you on the right path to success there. So let's go to some trade plan reviews here. AMD, we've already been able to play this one a couple of times between the call entry and PT1 here at 154.67. I know it's a little bit hard to see back that way, but right here. I was watching it for a potential entry yesterday. This looked like a really nice bull flag setup, but it's also a great opportunity for me to kind of remind folks that even if you see something that typically plays out bullish or to the upside, doesn't necessarily mean that you should get in prematurely. Wait for the confirmation, wait for that breakout of that bull flag, that downtrend to take place before you go jumping into contracts. I literally had my expirations and contracts and everything set up, just waiting for it to break and getting ready to fire off an alert. My big concern was the 333 200 being inverted here on the bear side of things, and it was showing some issues getting above that. We did see it start to break above here, but again, we still had that downtrend to kind of really break out of before it would actually make a move. And ultimately, it did reject pretty hard. So I'm glad I didn't take those contracts. I was literally looking at it like right here. I was like, okay, like I'm just waiting to pull the trigger, and I never did. And again, I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't put you guys in a bad spot either. So patience is always important in trading. Again, even if you see a pattern, whether it be a bull flag, head and shoulders, whatever the case might be, you got to wait for the confirmation that the pattern is actually going to play out before you get in. Otherwise, you're anticipating a move that might not happen and potentially putting yourself in a bad entry. So it is holding the call entry here pre-market though. If it can break above the 333 here on the 5-minute chart, I'd be interested to see it potentially go for a retest of at least probably yesterday's high, I would guess. And really, I'd say potentially trying to push for PT2, but make sure you give yourself plenty of time. So we had AMD on the member selected tickers, HD, Home Depot. This one still has yet to break out really on either side. Seeing some tests of the put entry there yesterday, but nothing that would be a confirmed break below that level. Excuse me, let me get some coffee in the mix here. That might help with my throat issues a little bit. Excuse me. So 338.27, that's still holding. That is a key support below which I think HD moves lower. That's why it was our put entry from the member selected ticker. So, I think we had the right levels. We just haven't seen an actionable plan yet, unless you sort of inverse the levels and played the call entry resistance as a rejection point. This would be a great place to take profits, especially as we see this multiple tests of this 338.27 as key support. So if that holds, we could see Home Depot try to push back up and try to make a move back toward 345.98. I'd say over 340.30. That would break us out over Neptune. There are some SMAs overhead there. What's up, Unknown Reviews? Good to see you. There are these SMAs still sitting overhead here, but I think over 340.30 HD could be an interesting long opportunity with a stop there at 338.27. So again, just kind of re-engineering the plan levels. Targets, I would say, 342.59, and then on to 345.98. So just kind of a off the cuff way to reverse engineer or re-engineer those plan levels to come up with other plans. But all the work's pretty much done for you. You just have to pick the right levels and how you're going to adjust. Marathon, we already talked about this on Tuesday, but nice breakout run all the way up to PT2. It essentially topped out right at PT2. So again, our targets were very accurate, and again, we should be moving our stops up. So definitely would have closed the rest of those contracts out here at this point, especially on this back test and rejection, full bullet or bearish mode, on Neptune there. Would have been a great opportunity to finish closing out your contracts, whatever you didn't scale out here at PT2. Again, just because there are 3 price targets doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get them all. We might only get one sometimes, so make sure you're taking profit and moving your stops, being methodical about it. Consistency is key. So we did see it come back and try to retest, came a little bit shy of a true retest. What was that, about 1878? And that's, you know, again, I prefer closer accuracy than that. I'd say anything outside of 15 cents on high dollar tickers, or outside of really 10 cents on these lower dollar tickers, I feel like I need to step up my game and be more accurate. Anyway, came very close to a back test of our call entry level. Struggling a little bit here with PT1 as resistance, and also rejecting the 200 SMA here pre-market, but ultimately SMA is still bullish, Neptune's still bullish, so keep an eye on this to potentially try to make another push. Bitcoin's, you know, not giving a lot of help to that case right now, but who knows, Bitcoin could always make moves, and make moves very quickly when it does. All right, so now we're into the live stream plans from Tuesday's live stream session. We had Shopify. This was actually one that had earnings. So we did this one Tuesday. Essentially consolidated. Ran right up there into the pre-market session yesterday, up to our call entry key resistance, and absolutely just got slaughtered on that earnings report. So, you know, this is something that we talk about a lot, right? Charts will precede the news. The news sometimes just helps your trade plans play out a lot faster because they do become a catalyst, but the technicals, I think, are always first and foremost. And here you see a great example of that, right? We were up against resistance, key resistance there at 79.42, above which we break out and make moves higher. We ran right up to that as that earnings report came out, and just dropped like a stone off that resistance. So, you know, again, charts precede the news. It's not always catalyst driven. A lot of times the technicals will allow you to see what's going to happen before it happens, and then the catalyst, again, just sort of accelerates how quickly the trade plan works out. All right, Occidental Petroleum we also did on Tuesday's stream, breaking to the downside here below the put entry with a nice break below and back test, fully bearish there on Neptune. It did find support near this weekly level here at 63.38, just inside that reasonable range of accuracy, 9 cents difference there. So I'm okay with that. Came very close to that weekly level, so be careful holding this one for too long. You know, we may have shot one level too far with our price targets. Those weekly levels can be key supports. So maybe I should have set that as PT1 and got a little bit greedy with this first price target. But I do like this confluence that's getting ready to set up here with the 200, 333, inversed and bearish 200 coming down to this 64.19 resistance level. That could be a really great rejection opportunity if it all does line up. So keep that on watch here on the 5-minute 200 SMA 64.19. If we get a confluence test, you start to see a rejection there. That could be a good entry opportunity for a potential double top off this back test and push lower, maybe up the price targets to 63.38 versus 62.91. I'll be willing to admit I may have made a mistake not using the weekly level because those are typically key. All right, last but not least, T-Bio. I did look at this one this morning. We did talk about how this reverse split will essentially totally invalidate the trade plan that we put in place. That has happened. So I haven't had a chance to go and try to figure out how to readjust this. But again, this one was kind of took a little bit of a long shot. I think this was for Deidre that particular day. So, you know, I'm always willing to take a shot at something that is well outside of something I would normally look at. Again, this one being a penny ticker and also trading incredibly low volume. So, you know, this was going to be a very challenging one to trade. Thought it would be good practice to see if maybe something did play out before that reverse split, but that didn't turn out to be the case, and that has totally shifted the price. One thing that I wish TradingView would maybe do a little bit better would be automatically adjust your drawings for splits and reverse splits, but that's on a wish list somewhere in the universe that I'm sure they will maybe address one day. All right, so let's get into some ticker requests. Let's do some trade plans. Let's see, we've got KD hopping in here bright and early with Netflix. We can take a look at that to get things started. And fortunately, I think I've got some pretty decent levels on Netflix. In fact, it's kind of playing back through some old trade plan levels. I don't know when we did this trade plan. Looks like we did it probably on a pre-market Thursday, the 21st of March. Yeah, I would have been around for that. I was trying to, it's like, was that my wedding? Um, so yeah, looks like this was a Thursday morning live stream. Here we are back again, another Thursday morning live stream. And again, what I was looking at here is how it's kind of stair stepping back up through those old trade plan levels. So again, if I put levels out for you guys, please feel free to add them to your chart and use them moving forward to make your own trade plans. Do whatever you want to do with them. Feel free to borrow my brain in that regard. All right, so let's take a look at this, figure out how we want to handle this. It's been on a nice uptrend, nice crossover, 200 over the 333 there a few days ago. Neptune, multiple long signals, overall bullish flag has been really catching some nice bottoms on the way up. Really could have, that, man, yesterday I wish I'd been watching Netflix or had some alert set on it. That was right out of the key buying pressure there on Neptune for a huge move right off of that level. I mean, that was probably pretty close to our low of the day to the penny. Also nice confluence down there with 599.60. So anyway, let's take a look at how we want to handle this, running it back the other direction. I kind of have an area that I would be concerned about here, which would be our previous put entry and stop loss average down. Also with that 621.26 being a weekly level, I have a feeling that's really going to be the one that we're going to need to break to see any potential upside. Yeah, I'm looking through this. I kind of feel like it does open up some decent room, actually. I think we could take a shot at this. So again, we're kind of, here we are giving you a pretty good example, actually, of a good way to reverse engineer some of these plan levels. So what I'm looking at is a potential break over 621.26, right? So this was our stop loss average down from the previous plan. We flipped this put entry to our stop loss average down level. So stop loss average down from the put plan is now the call entry for the new plan, and the put entry from the previous plan is the stop loss average down for the call side of the plan. This previous call entry is our PT1. Are seeing some tops at this 638.01 level recently leading into that move down, so that would definitely be PT2. The question is, do we have clear skies up to the 646.73 weekly level over that? Let's go out to the hourly chart. I have to go back a little ways to see what happened the last time Netflix was up in this range and where the key resistances might have been. Question is, how far back are we going to have to go? Here we go. Not as far as I thought we might have to. And again, Netflix is not one on kind of my short list of tickers I trade often, although looking at how it's played out these trade plans previously, and how Neptune's catching these bottoms on it really nicely, and some good rejections there, tops, making me want to start to watch Netflix more. Not the ticker, not the streaming service. Yeah, I see a good case for 646.73 being our third price target. So there we go. I mean, kind of already done for us to some extent. And that's something I talk about a lot when I do mentoring sessions and talk about, taking the time to develop support and resistance levels on your chart. It's really just an investment in the future, because, you'll invest some time to put together, a well thought out set of support and resistance levels on any ticker that you've never charted before. But you'll be able to extract from those support and resistance levels dozens, if not hundreds, of trade plans. So that's where the ROI is on that time invested. All right, I'm looking at this level that we're testing pre-market, and I think it is an hourly level that I don't currently have on my Netflix chart. And what I'm looking at it for, yeah, I like it as as a stop loss average down for what I'm looking at for downside trade plan, which is really, again, just reverse engineering these prior trade plan levels. This is an interesting break above and back test, but we had a nice confluence there previously with this bullish ribbon on Neptune catching that bottom right there, also in the bullish flag. Again, a really great NTS setup there. Yeah, I think let's go for, yeah, I think 594.80 is a reasonable target. Also noticing that even though we've made a nice move to the upside, and these are lagging indicators, 333 is still trending down a little bit. 200 is curling up, but still pretty far inverted. And a little bit overextended on this move up. Let's just take a quick look at just want to make sure that, yeah, 200 could come up there as a confluence. All right, yeah, I like that as our first price target. Second price target, I wonder if I have this daily level down here just a hair off the mark. I think it actually sits more like right, whoops, here. Let's just make sure that, yeah. So I like that as a second target. Third target, let's see. We didn't, yeah, let's go for this weekly level. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but also, again, make sure you're moving your stops, take profits as we hit these targets. Don't be greedy. 568.07 could be a stretch, but as long as we're getting to PT1, you should be green and not letting any contracts go red, no matter which direction it goes. All right, so let's get this posted. Here are the Netflix trade plans. And let me go ahead and share this in the Discord and the options watch lists. All right, so what are we looking for here on Netflix? We're looking for a break over 621.26 to play this for upside. That should give us targets at 632.51, 638.01, and 646.73 with a stop loss average down at 616.12. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 605.05 to play for downside targets at 594.80, 580.41, and 568.07 with a stop loss average down at, what is that, 612.32. Those are your Netflix trade plans. Go get them. All right, and thank you for the request. Who is that? KD. All right, Space Ninja showing up and asking for Carvana as the next trade plan. Let's take a look. Just out of curiosity, I wonder where. What did Vroom do, a reverse split? Yeah. Good God, 80-1. All right, so Vroom's an interesting one to watch. That's fun to play shares on, and moves in sympathy with Carvana. So I took a quick look at that. Put that in the FYI for what it's worth category. All right. Wow. My levels are all over the place. They're above and below, but apparently anytime I've been asked to look at Carvana, it hasn't been in this range. So let's see what we can figure out here on the fly. It's also real quick. Just gonna try to clean this up a little bit. Bear with me 1 sec. I don't need that anymore. Probably don't need that anymore. There we go. That's better. going to distract me. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's something right here that Carvana is sitting at pre-market on the weekly chart too, which is significant. Let's see. Sorry if I got real quiet there for a second. I got into full concentration mode, but trying to find these key weekly levels here pretty quickly. All right. Let's go to the daily chart. So again, I'm kind of trying to fill in some gaps here. Apparently, again, anytime I've looked at Carvana, it's either been way higher on the price scale or way lower on the price scale. Not done a lot of homework on this in this particular range, but that's all right. And this, again, is what I do every time I'm looking at something where either I've never looked at a ticker before or looking at a particular area of price action for the first time. This is an interesting double top, but I don't know if this is from daily level. You know, because for me, support and resistance is really the fundamental foundation for understanding how stocks move and how to create actual opportunities out of that movement. I think that is a pretty good daily level, actually. Capacity was down. All right. It's an interesting level there. This is an interesting top, but one top doesn't give us much to work with unless it's got some really nice support there previously, which I liked. Yeah, so we're rejecting just, oh, this is the weekly level I was looking at. There's another one overhead there at 132.08. Interesting multi-top, struggle to close above this 123.52 level. Don't know if it is a level, but let's nail that down. It's maybe sitting right about here. 23.12. I don't know. Not super convinced by that. Let's keep it on watch as we go through these other time frames. I don't think it's a confirmable daily level, but I think there's something there. Could be a 4-hour level. And that being said, let's go ahead and go down. Time frame, let's take a quick look at this 123.12 level, see if we can't confirm that. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good 4-hour level, actually. All right. Definitely an area of interest here. And here, but I don't think we're gonna need price levels down that far. Okay, let's flip over to trade planning mode here. We'll fill in the blanks as needed. So big move on this earnings report. Wow, solid. Assuming TradingView's numbers are accurate, really strong beats on both sides there. So just curious what's at this 111.34 level, if anything. I want to lose my place, which is why I kind of do it this way. Come on, let's go. Here we go. Yeah, there's something. It's probably actually a little bit lower. Yeah, it actually sits right there. Yep. There's an interesting confluence that we break above here on the hourly. Let me also just check this 15-minute. But I'm liking 123.12 as an entry. All right. Let's see. See, I think we're looking for a break over this 123.12. Hang on. For some reason, my mouse is not responding. Give me just a sec. Let me get this thing rebooted. Come on, there we go. All right, so yeah, I think we're looking for a break over this 123.12 level. That should, I would think, give us a target at, well, we're gonna have to go back, so let me get to a higher time frame here. All right. So I'm looking at this 132.08 level as a potential first target over 123.12. I think that does look pretty good. All right, sorry about that. I was doing two things at once there for a second. All right, so what I'm looking for, again, is break over 123.12, 132.08, 139.36, and 149.65 upside targets. Stop loss average down there at 119.06. To the downside, I'm looking at a break below this 111.49, potentially opening up downside for us. Below 111.49, kind of feeling like it would be too greedy, but 98.80 could be a potential target. The reason why I say that, got the 200 SMA coming up there. There was a recent confluence with Neptune here on the hourly where it lined up perfectly with that 98.80. It's also a weekly level. I just don't know if that's being too aggressive for a pullback, especially on something that just reported pretty solid earnings. Let's do this. Let's not be overly greedy. We do have a daily level there. I think there's also an hourly level here in the mix that we could use to pull in as a stop loss. Then we can shoot for 98.80. And then below that, wow, I almost went a little too far. Yeah, I think it's just 1, 2, 3 below there, 93.96. This recent resistance could act as support on the way back down if you look at it from a bigger time frame, bigger perspective. All right, so let's put this together here, and we can probably, I think I can do it. Let's see if we can't squeeze out a third trade plan this morning with the 8-ish minutes I think I've got. That should still leave me time to do the SPY plan. For our friends in Discord, in the Xtrades community, if you guys haven't already come and checked us out, please do so. We do have free trials available. I'm sure Chris can post a link if he's still watching and paying attention and not stuck on a separate phone call the way I was just a second ago. All right, here's Carvana trade plans. So let me also get this posted over in the Discord. So what are we looking at here on Carvana? We're looking for a break over 123.12 for continuation to the upside up to this 132.08 weekly resistance, then on up to 139.36 and 149.65. Third price target with a stop loss average down at 119.06 for the upside. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 111.49. That should give us targets at 104.96, 98.80, and 93.96 with a stop loss average down at 117.12. Those are your Carvana trade plans. Go get them. Oh, yeah, we both got, yeah, I had to take a quick call while I was trying to do two things at once. All right, so we got to Carvana, and then we've got Sitaru FTAI. FTAI, yeah, this is one I've never heard of before. Got a dividend coming up today, or today's their ex-div date. Let's see. On the low side of the volume scale, still got some time before earnings. Just reported earnings recently. Mixed. All right, let's take a look at it. What exactly do these guys do? Let's see if they're doing. I mean, AI is in the name, so you gotta wonder. Okay, just straight aircraft manufacturing. Okay. I thought maybe they were like, we use AI to build better aircrafts or something. All right, let's see what they got. Oh my gosh. Well, this is going to be an interesting challenge. Let's do it. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I was gonna say, probably not gonna find a whole lot on the weekly here. Definitely overextended at the moment. I'm gonna assume that this thing doesn't really trade accurately or show real price action during pre-market just based on the volume, or I should say extended hours. All right. This is definitely going to be a fib-driven trade plan, I can tell you that much. Because we're not going to have enough price data to do much else. But that's okay. I like a challenge. It's interesting top here. It does kind of look like a good short. Does have a little bit of a gap to fill still down to 75, 79. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. The other thing, let's go ahead and see if we can't nail down. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm not liking how that's really setting up just yet. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. A little help, not a ton. I think we also have a level right here. That's also an interesting level. Yeah, sure. Here's the. I mean, I think you know how to read these by now, but here's the. I can repost the link for you. It should give you what you need. If it doesn't, let me know. All right. Now my question is this an actual candle or yeah, just some random print pre-market nonsense? So that's not really even there. All right. Yeah, this looks a little bit like a better place to run this off of. So I think what we're looking at is this. Whoops. Yeah, probably sits right about there. Okay. All right. So for this to play out to the upside, well, you know what? Could do this actually. Yeah, let's go with this instead. Sorry, I was looking at one thing. Now I'm thinking another. This is what I'm thinking now. Let's look for a break over this 79.58. Potentially play this up to the current ceiling there at 81.48. Over that, I'd be looking for the 0.382 and then the 0.618. Downside, definitely a break below 77. Fair stop loss with the upside. First target, go back to, sorry, regular trading hours here. Yeah, there's this gap to fill still down here. So first target would be the 75.59 gap fill. Below that, I think we have a level here I don't have on my chart yet. 74.22. And then it's probably a little bit of a stretch, but we do have a 200 SMA right down there, about that same spot. Also like that 74.22 Neptune confluence, by the way. Sorry, should have mentioned that. 72.13. So I think these are reasonable trade plans given the circumstances, the current price action, where things are sitting, where we've been. Definitely a ticker I've never heard of before, so congrats for that. There's not a lot of those out there anymore, I feel like, but learn something new every day, right? Let's hide this. I don't see those on my chart too much. All right, so here are your TAI trade plans. And let me post over in Discord. All right, so what are we looking for here on FTAI? We're looking for a break over 79.58. That should give us targets at 81.48, 82.76, and 84.67 with a stop loss average down at 78.25. Let me make a slight adjustment to that. It's really 81.38, sorry. Small adjustment to that. So 81.38, 82.76, 84.67, stop loss average down at 78.25 to the downside. We're looking for a break below 77 with targets at 75.59. Gap fill, make sure to scale out heavily there because gap fills tend to result in bounces, at least in this particular case since we're filling to the gap to the downside. Then we're looking for 74.22 if we do break below 75.59 support, and then below 74.22, 72.13 third downside price target. We will share a stop loss average down there at 78.25 with the upside trade plan. All right, so those are your trade plans for this morning for FTAI. We also took a look at Carvana and Netflix. So with that, we're going to wrap up so I can go get the SPY plan put together and sent into the Xtrades Discord community. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I hope you guys had a good experience joining us for the live stream today. As a reminder, we're back here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the Xtrades Discord. Go out there and get some green, and as we always say on the FOMO live streams, plan your trades, trade your plans. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Have a great day.